Welcome back to the Military Sherpa Podcast. I am your host, Mark, and you might be asking yourself, why is a podcast episode dropping on Wednesday? Podcast episodes drop on Mondays. Well, this week, I'm introducing something new into the lineup, and it's called the Midweek Mindset. The intent here is that on Wednesdays, I'm going to bring you a very short, sub 5-minute podcast episode, and it's going to be all about pumping you up, sustaining you, and challenging you as you go from Wednesday through the rest of the week into Friday. So without further ado, this week's quote comes from Amy Dickinson, and the quote is, "We are not our best intentions. We are what we do." And so there's a few things about this quote. We are not our best intentions. We are what we do. First and foremost, hold yourself accountable for your actions, not your thoughts. Hold yourself accountable for what you do, not what you think. Own your 1%. So many times when I'm confronted with actions I've taken, I get defensive, I justify my actions, I return fire, or I try to help people understand what I was feeling, what I was thinking, what I wanted to do, what I intended to do. Unfortunately, people rarely care about how we feel when we hurt them. They care far more about what we did. So we've got to hold ourselves accountable to our actions, not just our intentions. Second, never make excuses for coming up short. When you fail, you failed. One of three things happened when you failed. Number one, you failed to account for the risk. You've got to count the cost before you go out. You've got to understand what the risks are. If you're like me, I underplay the risks. And if you're like our Guardian brothers and sisters, they overplay the risks. We've got to count the costs. Second, if you failed, you either didn't account for risk or you didn't properly plan. Fail to plan, plan to fail. Think it through. Seek counsel where there's wisdom, where there are many, right? So seek counsel, think it through. Don't fail to properly plan. So either you didn't account for the risk, you didn't properly plan, or you didn't properly communicate. And this is the third one, because if I go to my boss and we have a good conversation about the risks and the plan, and we're all in agreement that, hey, this might not work, then when it doesn't work, it's not a failure. We accounted for this. We took a risk together as a team, so it's okay that it didn't work out. We learned or we won. And in this case, if we counted the risk, if we properly planned and we properly communicated, then it wasn't a failure. So in regards to our quote of the day, we are not our best intentions. We are what we do. Hold ourselves accountable. Make sure we account for risks. We properly plan and we properly communicate. Give me some feedback on how you like this podcast episode. It was very quick. Mark@marktilscher.com. I'd love to know if you like the idea of a midweek mindset. Shoot me over something. Let me know. I'll talk to you soon.